Students, this video is to help you with the January 10th Argumentative Essay Intro. A good introduction in an argumentative essay acts like a good opening statement in a trial. Just like a lawyer, a writer must gain and hook the attention of the audience, present the issue at hand, give background information, and put forth the main argument. Take a look at this introduction to an argumentative essay that's not related to our assignment. Joan Hannaway said, "A common misconception in modern society is that education can only happen within the four walls of a classroom." Huffington Post. From educational and informative to exciting and adventurous, field trips are a crucial part of the educational experience of school. They are a break from the mundane, repetitive processes of everyday life and allow students to apply knowledge learned in the classroom to the real world outside of school. Field trips also allow students to gain work and life experience that becomes vitally important after graduation. Because of the myriad of benefits resulting from field trips, it is the best interest of the school board to allow field trips that enhance a student's learning experience. So notice that this writer started with a hook by quoting or citing from an expert. And then they go on to some transitional information, establishing the issue at hand and giving some background information. And then the last part is the main argument or the thesis statement. So on our topic, your turn, create your own introduction for this issue. Many people disagree about the appropriate age to allow children and young adults to use social media. You're going to start with the hook by asking questions, using a quote, start with a fact, etc. Then present the issue and give background information in your transitional sentences. Make sure that you are talking about what the actual issue is. You may want to talk about what social media is and how you determine what age is appropriate. What does a young adult mean to you? And then you state your opinion in the thesis statement. And make sure that you do not use the word I. You should not have I believe or I think or anything like that in your paragraph. There is a graphic organizer to help you do this introduction paragraph located on your Canvas page. And this is due on Friday, January 10th. You will submit it in Canvas to the discussion post. So I have a copy of the graphic organizer, which is available for you to use as well. Make sure you put your name, your teacher's name, and the date at the bottom. If you're in my class, I'm Miss Pollock Moore. And today's date that I'm doing this video is January 6, 2020. Make sure you put your name up there at the top. All right, so to use this graphic organizer, this one, it has the topic, and then it breaks down the three parts that you have to write. So this is what's given to you, the writing topic, and you don't include that in the actual paragraph. The topic for the essay that we're writing is many people disagree about the appropriate age to allow children and young adults to use social media. Because I don't want to give you all the answers, I'm going to change the topic just for my example video, but you're going to use that particular topic, okay? So my topic is going to be some school districts across the country use school uniforms to change student behavior. Are school uniforms an effective practice? All right, so now that's the topic that I just came up with. You're not coming up with the topic. You're going to use the one on social media, but I'm going to write a hook, transitional sentences, and a thesis statement for this topic. So my first thing would be to write a hook. And I'm going to either define a term, tell a story or anecdote, quote an expert, give facts or statistics, or ask rhetorical questions. I love using the story or anecdote, so I'm going to start with that. Make sure if you're doing a story or anecdote that it's only 2 to 3 sentences long, okay? So, I'm going to tell a short story about one of my former students. So it said, LaPortia is a junior at a local public high school. This high school requires students to wear school uniforms. LaPortia comes from a large family, and she is the oldest student in her family of 5. Her parents are struggling financially and oftentimes have difficulties buying LaPortia's very expensive school uniforms, in addition to the other uniforms they purchase for their other children. All right, so this is a very short story. Again, you only want to have about 2 to 3 sentences if you're doing a story for your hook. You do not have to do a story. You can do one of the other methods if you prefer. All right, then my transitional sentence, I need to make sure that I include what the issue at hand is and provide some background information. So I'm going to say something like, the school system where LaPortia and her siblings attend school require all students to wear a uniform that costs approximately $40 per uniform. This is a huge expense for families, especially for LaPortia's family, who already struggles financially. Now I'm going to add, especially for LaPortia's family and other families like hers who already struggle financially. All right, so now I've got my hook, I've got transitional sentence. I made sure that I explained why the issue was important, what it means to society. We can say something like, our local area has been debating the issue of school uniforms for years. Now, the last thing you need to do is your thesis statement. That is your opinion on the matter. So you could say something like, uniforms are too costly and do not provide enough help for student discipline to be worth the cost. That's my thesis statement. That's my opinion on school uniforms. So now if I want to make this into a paragraph for my introduction, I would come down here. I'm going to copy my hook, come down here, hit the tab key once, paste my hook, space, space, copy my transition, space, space, copy my thesis, and now I have one complete paragraph. So if you read my whole paragraph, it should make sense. LaPortia is a junior at a local public high school. This high school requires students to wear uniforms. LaPortia comes from a large family, and she is the oldest student in her family of 5. Her parents are struggling financially and oftentimes have difficulties buying LaPortia's very expensive school uniforms in addition to the other uniforms they purchase for their other children. The school system where LaPortia and her siblings attend school require all students to wear a uniform that costs approximately $40 per uniform. This is a huge expense for families, especially for LaPortia's family and other families like hers who already struggle financially. Our local area has been debating the issue of school uniforms for years. Uniforms are too costly and do not provide enough help for student discipline to be worth the cost. So now I have a great introduction paragraph on this topic. Now, remember, your topic is not on school uniforms. Your topic is on social media. So you're going to take this graphic organizer and you're going to make a hook, transitional sentences, and thesis statement about your opinion on this. Many people disagree about the appropriate age to allow children and young adults to use social media. So you're going to talk about what you think the appropriate age is and how you would define young adult. So you're going to start with the hook, define a term, tell a story, quote an expert, give facts, or ask questions. Then give that transitional sentence, the explaining why this issue is important, what it means to society, and then provide your opinion on the topic. All right, I hope this video helps you get started, and your introduction is due on Friday, January 10th. Have a great day. Miss P, out.